How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be taking a look at, well, basically a bunch of different stuff that's been happening. There's some massive Nintendo Switch 2 information and news, as well as some potentially Pokemon Presents 2025 information as well. So let's get started with that first. First things first is this post right here from Matt over on Twitter. Now, Matt is a data miner, somebody who looks through all the files for different things in different Pokemon games, whether that's Pokemon Go or something else. Well, guess what? He found that there's a new resource ID specifically to do with a new tour within Pokemon Go, and that tour is going to be specifically Unova themed. So what is it about? Well, basically it says here, resource ID, Go Tour _ 2025 _ Pokemon _ day _ TR _ title. So basically, the Pokemon Go, I guess, like, if you want to call it the Pokemon Day announcement for Pokemon Go, is going to be a new tour, and this tour is going to be Unova themed this time around. If you guys don't know these, they do these every single year, so it's not like it's super crazy brand new, but it's interesting, though, because this is our first actual information about the presents and our actual first and really only leak that we've had so far on the actual presents. So yeah, that's our first leak, and what it says following here is that Go Tour 2025 Day, Pokemon Day, is going to have Pokemon Presents 2025 X Go Tour Unova timed research 1 out of 1. So basically, this has already, I think, been added. I could be wrong. I think this is in Pokemon Go already in the files. I think, at least. This is where he got it from. I'm not sure where he got this information from. I think some people were asking in, like, the replies. Somebody asked, like, Unova announcement impending, and he did clarify that Pokemon Go Tour Unova is an event specifically for Go and is an annual event focusing on a specific regions. Unova being this year has nothing to do with any Unova-related announcements. True, that doesn't necessarily mean anything because it's not the first time that they've included an event based on a region, but that region doesn't get a mainline game that same year. It doesn't necessarily mean much in terms of us getting something, but keep in mind, we do have that speculated, like, Unova remake, not this year, but, like, down the line, suggested by Riddler Coup, based on some of the information that he put out there. So that's always a possibility, but this is our first piece of genuine information about the Pokemon Presents, like actual info, because Matt is a data miner, very much trusted, somebody that, you know, doesn't put out false info, and so yeah, just keep that in mind. It is genuinely like an actual piece of information and not just mumbo jumbo. But let's move on to something slightly different, which is this post on 4chan. So it includes this image, which you guys can see on screen, which looks like supposed to be some sort of, like, I guess, representation made by Cardinal. Now, Cardinal is an amazing 3D artist, but it's supposed to be a representation of, in some sense, like what a Nintendo Switch 2 Legend ZA model would look like. And then he says the following here. This person says, Legend ZA leak shortly after the Switch 2 announcement on January the 20th, 2025. So he's saying that the announcement for the Switch 2 will be on January 20th, which would be, what is that, like 2 weeks away? Yeah, almost a week and a half away on Monday. So Monday, the 20th of January, which is, again, a week and a half away or so. But he says that apparently that's when it's going to be announced. Shortly after the Switch 2 announcement, January 20th, 2025, the Pokemon Company Incorporated will reveal a limited edition Switch 2 for Legend ZA and will be releasing alongside it on launch day. Now, I'm going to be real with you. First of all, this image is obviously a fake. It's a fan-made one. It's made by Cardinal. Proof of that is, like, literally his like, not trademark, but his watermark is at the bottom right here. So we already know this is not an actual real image, but this is a cool proof of concept of, first of all, what the Switch 2 is going to look like, because we do have some information about that. I will tell you, we do have some spicy information in that regard, but also, this image is a perfect kind of representation of what they could do if they decide to make a limited edition. Of course, they would make it look way more shit, because fans are better. Like, this right here is way better fan-made than what we're actually going to see. That's just the reality of this kind of stuff, you know? It's just how it always turns out. They always make a shittier version than the actual fans do, so that's always a chance, but nonetheless, though, what you see right here is just a concept of that. And this person is claiming that we're gonna get that. But again, it's just a rumor on 4chan, so it's not to be trusted or really believed. But since we're kind of on the topic of the Switch 2 to begin with, let's talk about some massive Switch 2 leaks. Now, we're going to start off from the bottom right here. Yesterday, I already talked about this post, but apparently we have yet another leak of the Switch 2 dock showing that it uses a 60-watt charger. So that is there, right there, as you guys can see, input, output, as well as its wattage. Then you guys go up here, and the source says that this is a new photo which is received from a trusted source showing a Switch 2 dock featuring visible input, output voltage information. In addition, I've also learned that the Switch 2 ships with a 60-watt charger for use with the dock. Okay. Then they continue on saying that apparently it's happening, maybe finally this time. And then here was a post from Nintendo Deal saying, until this morning, I was 50% sure Switch 2 would officially be revealed this month. I'm now 99% sure Switch 2 will be officially revealed this month. And Necro Felipe, who's been leaking a lot of stuff, did also agree with that. And it seems like it's actually happening. And it doesn't end there. Guys, Genki, which is, I think, a third-party company that creates, like, you know, like accessories and stuff. I think here is like, you guys can get further information on them. Like, they make third-party custom stuff. But apparently Genki is now showing Switch 2 accessories behind closed doors at CES. The Joy-Con dummy unit colors match what have been leaked previously. So yes, it seems like there's genuinely shit out there right now, and at least behind doors, closed doors. Update, not behind doors. The madmen are showing this publicly in the show floor. So yes, right there is a general ID of, again, this is obviously a dummy, right? Like, as they say, it's obviously just a dummy, 3D printed model of the console that they are using to showcase accessories. But that's about the size of it, right there. That's about the size of the Switch 2. It's obviously just a dummy. Yeah, keep that in mind. But it doesn't end there. More from CES 2025. So CES is the Consumer Electronics Showcase, I think. It's basically a giant kind of like convention slash like... I don't really know what to call it. It's basically the E3 of electronics, right? It's basically when a bunch of companies come together and just reveal a bunch of their new stuff. Like, for example, the brand new, graphics cards from NVIDIA, the 50 series, so RTX like 5070, 5080, 5090, all just got revealed. Same thing goes for AMD, who also makes graphics cards or CPUs and all that kind of stuff. They're all there sort of, revealing shit. And there's a lot of companies doing stuff. And in this case, there's even more. Apparently right here, you can see a wireless Joy-Con for the Nintendo Switch 2. This is supposed to be some sort of like a custom-made one, like, a third-party one, not the official one, but a third-party one, which is in itself pretty cool, because that means we could see some really sick accessories for the Switch 2, which would be nice, already starting from here. Also, the NS2 logo up here, I really wonder if that's just fan-made. I mean, just... third party and not official. Obviously, probably that's the case. We also see a, I guess in this case, Pro controller of sorts. We have a few different ones. This is more like a see-through one, like old school see-through one. Here's just a matte black one with really nice color scheme, I've got to be honest. And again, here we have what I would assume is like a sort of connector for the two Joy-Cons, which is pretty neat. And also these Joy-Cons look a little bit different, which is kind of nice as well. But overall, there's been a lot of stuff in this regard. There's been so much information. It's kind of crazy, but it doesn't end there. Here, a journalist at the CES 2025 mentions that Genki claims to have a real Switch 2 and that the console will launch in April. They don't know when it will be revealed, though. Interesting. April will be an interesting time to actually reveal it. Oops, I just kind of scrolled down there for a second. But basically, this would be a crazy time to reveal it, because if you think about it, April is not that far away. Like, we got, what would it be, like 3 months from now? I mean, March was the rumored date. If it is April, then it is a little later than most people expected, but I guess it also would make sense. It would not be that terrible of a time. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's an interesting one. So Nintendo Switch 2 is invited to CES 2025 with several accessory designers who come to exhibit a model of the console and its accessories. You guys can see right here more images of this actual mock-up and how it's supposed to sort of look like. And this, again, just a mock-up to sort of give you an idea of what a regular Switch looks like versus what this is going to look like. And also, if this is the new, like, holster or whatever, or this is their custom one, I'm very curious to know, but it's kind of funny, I'm not going to lie. But apparently they also, like he says, they do claim that they already have one. Also, Genki shows a Nintendo Switch 2 and the accessories they have been working on for the console. You guys can actually see visually here, like, you can actually see visually what they, like, think it's, or I guess what it's going to look like. I mean, they claim they actually have their hands. This is a company, by the way. We're not talking about like some random guy on Twitter or 4chan. This is an actual company that has their, apparently according to them, have their hands on a Switch 2 that they've been using to design their, third-party accessories, so to say. And they show here what it's supposed to look like. That's supposed to be the actual dock, which matches with the leaked information of the actual dock, as well as the Joy-Cons and how they attach. You guys can see right there the attachment being magnetic and just slapping in instead of doing the up and down sort of mechanic that we've used so far. And the regular Switch, with this thing also, of course, having their case on it, I'm guessing, their custom case. And on the back, you can see the actual, like the back plate, not the back plate, but like the little, the little holder, the little thick holster thingy, being larger, as has been kind of more or less confirmed by leaks. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy that they've already got this. Like, the thing is not even being revealed, but we already know basically everything about it at this point. It is kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie. It is kind of wild. It's a wild time to be alive right now and to be a Nintendo fan, because there's so much shit to just look forward to. But here we go. We move on from that to, well, what is the next thing we're going to talk about? Well, we've already spoken about Genki and their whole thing here and them working on the Switch 2 stuff and what they've revealed so far. Again, of course, there could be more shit, but this was like 9 hours ago at this point of me recording this. So I doubt there's going to be more in regards to this right now, like as of this minute of me recording. But there is something else I want to talk about, which is this rumor on 4chan, which I thought was a really fun one. So I thought we'd just go through it and see what it has to say. So yeah, let's just sit back, relax, and let's get into this one. So it starts off saying Legend ZA trailer. Now, I can't explain it, but I've been shown the trailer for ZA Legends, which is coming out soon, I've been told. And just to say, we're not ready. The game looks graphically very good, nothing to do with Arceus or Scarlet and Violet. Well, we wouldn't really expect that. I don't want to spoil too much of the narrative of the trailer, so let's just comment on things that are shown. Okay, so Lumio City has decided to completely reform itself to improve the relationship with the Pokemon, creating areas for various species to properly adapt to the city. Again, I swear I've heard this exact sentence in like half of these rumors I've read, but okay. They also say that we have been chosen as a junior researcher for the task of helping to suit the city to all possible species by means of a Pokedex. So I guess we're using the Pokedex to figure out what Pokemon like as habitats so we can make the city more friendly to them. Okay. Again, sounds like a lot of stuff I've already heard. We are introduced to these starters, which are Chespin, Fennekin, Froakie, again, at a table, which, again, seems like the most likely starters at this point. Like, I think most people kind of have accepted that those likely will be the starters at a table. Where far in the background you can see the Mega Rings. I think that's what they are. There may be something else. Okay, cool. So that would be implying that we're going to get Megas for those three. Fair enough. They also say, quick look of several areas of the city. You can see Pokemon like Altaria. And what else? I really wonder. Like, you can see Altaria. Let me see. You can see Altaria, Emolga, Jigglypuff, and the Monkey Trio, and Rattata. Okay, fair enough. So those would be getting, or just like getting revealed then. So Altaria, Emolga, Jigglypuff, and the Monkey Trio, as well as Rattata. I mean, sure, like that's like not that crazy, but fair enough. The female protagonist is seen hunting a group of fletchlings, throwing Pokeballs as in Legends Arceus. Okay, cool. Battle of the initials or starters against different Pokemon. So I guess they're talking about, when they say initial, but why would you call them starters here, but then initials here? That's weird. That's a bit sus. It doesn't look like the same battle system as in Arceus. Okay. Fight of Lucario against the Garchomp. Mega Evolve the two at the same time. Then you see several Megas. Lopunny, Slowbro, Beedrill, among others. You also see a small beach surrounded by buildings, a small mountain, and some tunnels that are under Lumios, which, again, we've talked about the possibility of the catacombs, the catacombs of Paris, potentially having some sort of appearance or appearing in some way, shape, or form. That's something we have spoken about already, so that's always a possibility. And apparently the trailer ends with a narration, with a voiceover, about the dangers of altering the ecosystem. And you see how hexagonal patterns start to glow from the ground. Okay, cool. And the release date, according to the trailer, was in November. I really hope that's not true. I don't remember the day because they only wanted to show it to me once, but I would say it was the 22nd. Which 22nd of November, 2025. Let me check that real quick. The 22nd of November would be a Saturday. So highly unlikely that will be on that day because they never release on weekends. They always release it at the end of a week. So like Friday or Thursday or something like that. They wouldn't really release it on a Saturday, I don't think. I don't think that's ever the case. But you never know. You never know. It's always a possibility. You never know. You honestly, with this kind of shit, you never actually know. But nonetheless, though, that is pretty much the rumor, and I'd love to know what you guys think about it, because it is a relatively standard one. The only thing that gets me a little bit riled up is, like, man, that November release date is going to be painful to have to wait for another year. But at least if we get a trailer and reveals and stuff along the way, at least it'll be more bearable. It's just that I hate the feeling of not knowing anything. Like, I think that's the worst part about it. It's just that feeling of not knowing anything. But yeah, other than that, though, I think mostly we've gone through a lot of the Nintendo stuff because honestly, man, there's not really much else to say. Like, you know, there's just been a lot of stuff about the Nintendo Switch 2, a lot of information. Even Necrophilippe said, good morning, and I can say for the first time, I got access to the Nintendo Switch 2 logo thanks to a photo of the console that a reliable source sent me. Based on what I saw and respecting the measurements, I recreated it, and it will be exactly like this, which... Again, not that crazy. Basically, the Switch 2 is the equivalent, and I guess I'm blocking it, but there you go. The Switch 2 is equivalent to, like, and I'm not talking about performance now, I'm talking about, like, naming-wise, is like how we went from the PlayStation to the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. It's just going to follow that naming scheme. So the question then is, will there be a Nintendo Switch 3 after the Switch 2? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see if that's, you know, if they're going to stick to the Switch or if they're going to change up their, you know, business model. We'll have to wait and see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye, and hope you guys enjoy these daily videos again. So I'll see you in the next one.